Hello, viewers. My name is Zach Hardy, and welcome to my thought, recap, analysis, whatever it may be, video on the WWE Superstar Shakeup second night, the second of two nights. Again, like I did last night, let me make it clear, this is not a SmackDown Live review. This is just a recap of who went, or who was picked up by SmackDown Live from Raw, so who went from Raw to SmackDown Live. Overall, I didn't really pay enough attention tonight, so I just have the proof on my phone or whatever. And I'll just scroll up. You'll see me scrolling out through the pictures, so let me get that clear. First performer from Raw to move to SmackDown Live is the United States champion, Kevin Owens. I love this pickup. I loved most of the pickups from Raw to SmackDown Live, much like I hated most of the pickups from SmackDown Live to Raw. So I really like this pick. I think Kevin Owens has a much brighter future on SmackDown than he did with Raw. I'm glad Roman Reigns is not on SmackDown. I enjoy the fact that Kevin Owens is coming over to SmackDown Live primarily because I just think his character will be able to be reinvented like it was a couple of years ago, like it was in NXT, the badass heel, the prize fighter. I feel like that can come back into play on SmackDown, and I feel like his character won't be overdone or overpushed or too balanced or too unbalanced. So I'm glad Kevin Owens is on SmackDown. Joining him is Sami Zayn, because the WWE has some sort of fetish with keeping best friends that are now turned enemies as close to each other as possible. So Sami Zayn is on SmackDown Live. I also love this pick. Sami was absolutely underutilized on Monday Night Raw, and I feel like this is the best thing that could have happened to him. I feel as though joining the SmackDown roster has now made it extremely possible for him to thrive into the main eventer and world champion that he should be. So I enjoy the fact that Sami Zayn is definitely going to have the option of just exercising his character out on the SmackDown roster and being able to, blossom into the main eventer that he should have been when he came up onto the roster in the first place. So there's that. Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt will have their WWE title match, a SmackDown championship, on a Raw pay-per-view. So that's interesting. The Shining Stars on SmackDown Live. I just hope they'll do something of relevance here on the tag team division. They didn't do anything on Raw, so I'm not really intrigued or entertained by this, pull up to the roster. So yeah, I really don't care. Jinder Mahal to SmackDown, again, I don't care. I was never a big fan of Jinder Mahal in the first place. I just hope that he gets a character that can stick and get over as a heel, possibly not as, the foreign heel that hates America, like, that is so drawn out in pro wrestling today. So let's just hope Jinder Mahal can do something relevant. I don't really have too much of an opinion on that pickup. Tamina to SmackDown. She's been gone for about a year, I believe, or maybe more than a year. I like this pickup. I think she can be the Nia Jax, or what Nia Jax is to Raw. I feel like Tamina can be to SmackDown. She can just run right through the division, look strong doing so, be the powerhouse woman of the roster. I think this will work out. I like this pickup, and I don't, because I'm not a big fan of Tamina in the first place. I feel like she's very limited in the ring. But let's hope that her time now on SmackDown can, help change that. Charlotte to SmackDown. I fucking love this pick, or this pickup. She had competed against everybody on Raw, from Bayley to Sasha to Nia. Aside from Alexa and Mickie James, who just went over to Raw, there was really nobody else for her to compete against. So I like this pickup to SmackDown, and I hope she runs through the division right to the SmackDown Women's Championship, because honestly, she deserves to be the first person. Again, I love Alexa Bliss, but Charlotte deserves to be the first person to hold both the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships at some point in her career. So yes, I love this pickup, Charlotte to SmackDown. Sin Cara to SmackDown. Whoop-de-doo. I feel like it's something that with that mask that causes him to botch all the time. Lana is getting her own push as a singles competitor on SmackDown. Aiden English is now an opera singer. That's his new gimmick. It's interesting, I guess. I just hope he can do something relevant. And Rusev to SmackDown. I love this because Rusev was heavily impacted by the bullshit that was WWE's Raw main card. I'm sorry, mid card. And even though during the early stages after the draft, he was the face of Raw with the United States Championship and made it feel important, after he lost to Roman and that all went to hell, he kind of just lost all the momentum that he once built up and seemed pointless. So now I think this will be an interesting move to SmackDown. And finally, on SmackDown, it's time to feel the power of positivity. The New Day is coming to SmackDown. This was obviously rumored, much like AJ to Raw and Roman to SmackDown was. But this was the one that came true. I like this pickup. I feel like the New Day did everything they could for the Raw division, Raw Tag Team division, and I feel like they can be a very interesting mix into the SmackDown Tag Team division and with what SmackDown has going on. So I'm interested. And overall, I mean, I do like the Raw pickups more than the SmackDown ones, but that just shows how much better SmackDown is than Raw and how pathetic Raw was, considering they had to pilferage, all of SmackDown's top talent. You had Bray Wyatt go over to Raw. You had, what was it? The Miz go over to Raw. You had Dean Ambrose go over to Raw. You had Alexa Bliss go over to Raw. You had Mickie James go over to Raw. It was a bad hit to SmackDown, but they were able to they said fuck you to Monday Night Raw, like SmackDown should, because SmackDown is a better show. And they just were like, yeah, you're gonna steal our talent? We're gonna steal your talent. So Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Charlotte. You know what? No, I like SmackDown's pickups more than Raw's. I think it just affected me negatively with Raw's pickups because Raw just showed how pathetic of a show it was, that the big stars on the show after this week are the ones that SmackDown built. Aside from Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. But then again, Roman Reigns will be shoved down our throats to the day that we die. Or at least hopefully until the day Vince McMahon dies. So, overall, I think this was an interesting little experiment. I enjoyed the idea of having, instead of a draft, you had a trade market, I guess, for the guys and the gals of both rosters. I was very interested in seeing how this turned out, and I'm now interested in seeing where it goes from here. So with that being said, that is my thought and recap and analysis portion of the Monday Night Raw show. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed more. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. I'm Zach Hardy, and I'm signing off.